Christopher Vizzina has earned the opportunity to go be the starting quarterback at Clemson based on everything we've observed. That's what Coach Sweeney had to say about the decision to not go into the portal and get a, quote, shiny object, and instead to stick with Christopher Vizzina, who enters his fourth year at Clemson. Vizzina, now a fourth-year player, will start. He's only got one career start. It was against SMU. And honestly, entering that start, the season was largely shot at that point. The start game kind of mid to late into the year against SMU. Tigers had already taken quite a few losses. I was curious to see what we'd get. And frankly, from what we've seen from Vizzina, a lot of it has not been so good. He hasn't looked good in spring games. He struggled in that Boston College game where Klubnik got hurt. He pretty much came in and threw a pick right away, a pick in the end zone. After SMU, so this is jumping ahead a little bit, he had 15 pass attempts against Furman, only averaged 3.5 yards per pass attempt. So it hasn't been good. But I wanted to say, hey, when he's ready, when he knows he's a starter, when he has a full game and he's got the full complement of starting players around him, how does he look? So I went through the compressed game for SMU. I was there in person watching, went through, rewatched it, and I pulled quite a few clips here. Want to walk through them all and get your thoughts. This is my first film study that I've done on the channel. I want to know what you think of it. So be sure to leave some comments. Don't forget to like this video, hype it. If you see that's a new option on YouTube, that helps a lot. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. But let's dive into this film from the SMU start. And I will note, Vizzina was 29 for 42, 317 yards, 7.5 yards per pass attempt, which is a kind of a big number I care about. I want to see that number over 7. 3 touchdowns, no picks. So pretty good overall stats. Of course, SMU, a pretty bad pass defense last year. So, maybe take those with a grain of salt, but maybe also kind of keep those in mind as we watch the film, kind of put it all together. So let's take a look at some of these plays. First off, I want to show his running ability, his athleticism. Let's see what we think of this. All right, there's nothing there. He takes off. These videos are not at full speed. He's not that slow. But you can see he turns nothing into something there. You're not going to go broke making a profit. So I love that. Let's take a look at another situation like this. You can see there's nothing available. He sneaks through, breaks a little arm tackle, picks up 7, 8 yards there when there was really nothing. I don't know that he's got the blazing high-end breakaway speed we saw a little bit with Klubnik, but he's shifty. And he's willing. So I think he adds an element there that I like a lot. And I think it's going to be, unfortunately, needed a lot because I'm still really worried about this offensive line. I'm going to show some plays. This is a slightly kind of adjacent topic here, but we don't even have Vizzina in picture here. This is Antonio Williams here in the Wildcat. But I want to keep an eye here on Harris Sewell, number 55. He's going to have to come over here and make a block. So you see him pulling, you see him missing the block, and the play blowing up. Now he's the only returning, I don't know if you call him returning starter, besides Jacobs at left tackle. He's going to be the starting center. And, there's a lot of guys who were not better than some of the guys last year. So I have some pretty big concerns. Here's another one. Look at the offensive line here. Goes back. There's nothing there. And let's look at one more. Guys coming. It's not his blind side. Vizzina does not see him at all and gets pummeled there for a loss of about 6 yards. That one's on a bit on Vizzina. The blocking was not that bad. He's got to see him. He's got to feel the pressure. He's got to have the timing. But overall, the timing was pretty good. But there you see he's got to feel that. All right. Now let's take a look at some of the intermediate throws. Quick game and intermediate here. So let's cue this one up. Quick little out there. I think that's Sap. Quick little 4 or 5 yards. Nothing too fancy, but that's going to keep the chains moving as you're making plays like that. There was a lot of that in this game, and I think part of that was maybe Riley being a little conservative, especially early, and banking maybe too much on Clemson's not so good defense. But I think Vizzina did pretty well there. I think this one's the little slant. Yeah, top of the screen. Boom. On time, first down. Could have been a hair earlier, but actually probably gets more yards by not being too early there. Another good pass. This one, I think, is one of the more impressive throws, maybe the most impressive throw I'll show today. It's going to be TJ Moore on the right side. He steps into it, in between four guys. Perfect timing, perfect placement. He's late. That's picked. He's off either way. You have to have a perfect ball, and he delivers it. So some impressive plays there, and I think that should be encouraging for Clemson fans. This is going to be a play action. One more intermediate. Good placement there to Antonio Williams, and a critical timing as well. All right, now for the fun part. All right, the deep ball. Watch the bottom of the screen. It's going to be a post route. He looks off to the side. It's like a fake screen. Boom, hits him deep. TJ Moore, touchdown. Huge play. And we didn't see enough of that last year in general. Didn't see enough of that with Garrett Riley, period, during his entire time at Clemson, which is funny because the whole thing was that it's a college offense. It's not an NFL offense. There's going to be plays where it's all set up to get this big play open. It either does or it doesn't. If it doesn't, you just got to throw it away. That was sort of the billing coming in, more explosiveness. Didn't happen enough, but Vizzina's not afraid to let it rip when the staff actually gives him a chance. This one is straight up just kind of a bomb. I think this is just a vertical route. He's got time. Moore beats him. A lot of credit there on the catch. That's a great catch, but also hits him in stride. We just didn't see that enough the last couple of years with Klubnik and Riley. Here it is. Great catch, but honestly, the ball's pretty good too. Maybe some final thoughts here before we wrap up. Watching this game again in the condensed version, it definitely made me worry about the offensive line. There's a lot of plays it didn't show where the offensive line is just not blocking well, particularly for the run. So I do worry a lot still about, will we have a strong run game? We lost a lot on the offensive line. We lost Adam Randall. I like Gideon Davidson. I really like Chris Johnson Jr. at running back. I think that's a perfectly fine running back room. Worried about this offensive line. Worried about if they can get balance. But on the other side, and you saw some of these just now, TJ Moore is a stud. And Bryant Wesco seems like he's healthy. That's an elite duo, probably the second best duo in the ACC behind what they've got over at Miami. So I think they've got the receivers. I don't know if they have the offensive line. But with Vizzina in particular, I think he could be an above-average quarterback. He does have some athleticism. He's willing to let it rip on the deep ball. We know he can do it. I don't know how consistently he's doing it in practice, but sure looks good there. I think he's smart without being gun-shy. To me, the bigger question mark about this offense is the offensive line. If the offensive line is average, you've got, I think, above average running back play, potentially above average quarterback play, way above average pass catchers. So to me, it's really more about the offensive line than what quarterback Christopher Vizzina brings. Because I think he's going to, if you set him up to succeed with a reasonable running game and enough time to pass it, I think he'll deliver. I feel good about him. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, don't forget to like this video, hype this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. And go Tigers. Thank you to our sponsor, Ready Vets. If you live in the upstate and have a dog or cat that needs immediate care, Ready Vets is the place to go. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe.